Josh, yes, it is I. We are back. And Hollywood Studios, formerly MGM, to all the originals. We need to talk about that.
I am shutting it down.
Game over, man. It's game over.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Hey travelers, welcome back to Roberto's Room. So, yes, we are talking about what, honestly, to many people, I think honestly to Disney themselves, is the redheaded stepchild of Disney World Hollywood Studios. And I'm saying that not out of disdain. I love this park so much, and the reason why I'm saying it is because it feels like this park is treated as the redheaded stepchild of Disney because it gets the least amount of love. It is the most disjointed park, I think, of all of them, and we have our work cut out for us in this video. This is actually going to be my most radical change, which is why I kind of saved it for last, because I think that there's a lot in this park that could be improved. The bones are there, but we need some major remodeling, and that's what we're gonna do. Again, just like with all of these videos that I've made for this channel, this is for us. This is something that I want to use as a conversation starter to all of the Disney fans out there, the originals, the new ones, the old ones, the true ones. All of us, let's talk. And I would love to hear your thoughts about what you would do to Hollywood Studios if you were in Josh D'Amaro's position. Before we do though, if you would, please drop a like down below and comment. Give me some predictions what you think I'm going to do. Again, this is going to be my most radical change to any of the four parks, and I think that it desperately needs that. So I would love to hear your kind of predictions, and then maybe at the end of the video come back and see if, just like I mentioned in my other videos, if your predictions were true. And also, if you would, drop a like and subscribe. Please subscribe. I have a ton of y'all that watch my videos, and some videos, about 95% that watched, did not subscribe. And come on guys, I would love to have you on board the channel so I can continue to make videos like this in the future. So without further ado, let's play some Operation.
Smile, everyone! We're back.
Alright, let's talk Hollywood Studios. And Hollywood Studios is one that I am going to restructure dramatically, because it kind of, at least to me, seems like a hodgepodge of ideas that aren't really placed well. They're just kind of strewn about everywhere with no rhyme or reason. And there is a great concept that is just begging to be made into a park that I feel would greatly structure Hollywood Studios, and that is the concept of backlots. And we're going to use the great properties that Disney has acquired to make these backlots for Hollywood Studios. So, the first backlot, which is the one that you get once you get into the park, which, before we get into the actual breakdown, I want to say that I want to bring back the hat in Hollywood Studios. I think that was a great icon, and it just doesn't get any love because it was a glorified gift shop, and that needs to be its own icon. It needs to be just like the Tree of Life, like the castle that you go under, you marvel at it.
Right next to a huge steaming bowl of foreshadowing.
And it is huge. It is a big thing. And this is one of those parks that has no real icon. And again, it's a testament to how much of a hodgepodge this park is, that there's nothing really there that make it stand out. So, like we've done before, we're gonna fix it. The first quote-unquote backlot or land is based on classic cinema. We're going to call it the classic cinema backlot. And I did want to bring back a great, actually, it's called the Great Movie Ride. That used to be there in Hollywood Studios. If you remember back in our Magic Kingdom video, we actually moved Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway to Magic Kingdom. Why? Because I feel like Mickey belongs there. But the Great Movie Ride needs to be in Hollywood studios. Now, whether that is with Alien and all those properties that I know, well, Alien honestly is owned by Disney, but I know maybe some properties aren't owned by Disney anymore. So let's redo the Great Movie Ride and add some scenes of some movies that Disney does own. Maybe give some love to the Fox films, because we know that Disney now owns Fox, and there's really not a lot of love towards those films. And with a park that is centered on backlots, what better thing to do than to give some love to those properties that don't really see any love, probably because they're a little bit more on the adult side. But I feel like something like the Great Movie Ride would be a great way to honor them in a really meaningful way. I would leave, of course, Tower of Terror, and I would bring back the studio backlot tour. Again, we are talking about backlots, and that's what we're structuring the park around, this huge studio. So why not bring back the studio backlot tour? I loved it. I love seeing the costume department and everything that went into the movie making process. That's one of the reasons why this channel exists, is because Disney and the movies that they made, seeing that process come to life made me love movie making. And so that's partially why this channel exists. And so why not bring it back? Another thing that I would bring back to this park is the Lights Motor Action Stunt Show. If you watch that, if you were lucky enough to see that, that's actually, you can see it online to this day. There are people that videotaped it, and I'm glad they did, and it's on YouTube, because that was such a great experience. And again, it ignited your imagination to make films, which is what I think Hollywood studios should be about, is the love for films. Using, of course, the different properties that Disney has purchased and that Disney has, but it should be about the love of cinema, and especially this first classic cinema backlot that we enter into as we go into Hollywood studios. The next backlot that I would have is Jim Henson. Again, we are talking about Muppets, and let's give the Muppets what they deserve, the attention they deserve. Why they got rid of Muppet Vision 4D is beyond me, but we are going to bring it back. And I know they're doing this already, but we are going to add the Muppet Mayhem Coaster and retheming the Rock and Roller Coaster to the Muppets, and bring back Pizza Rizzo, bring back Mama Melrose in this Jim Henson backlot as well. Next, again, one of the great missed opportunities of this park is that the Lucasfilm stuff is all over the place in this park, and we need to bring it all together here. Where Galaxy's Edge currently is, and then where Grand Avenue section currently is, we're going to split the Grand Avenue section with Jim Henson's backlot, leave half of that for the Jim Henson backlot, and we're going to add the other half of that Grand Avenue section to the Lucasfilm backlot. Keep Galaxy's Edge where it is, have Smuggler's Run, Rise of the Resistance, but I think that Star Tours should be what actually leads you into this land. Again, you have this huge AT-AT that is there, and it just leads to nothing. And it's a great disservice to just theming. It makes no sense from a layout perspective. But I do like Indiana Jones, and again, I don't think that it has any part in being in Animal Kingdom, but I like the idea of having the Temple of the Foliated Cross ride, which is coming to Animal Kingdom, here in Hollywood Studios in the Lucasfilm backlot, as well as what used to be a great show, the Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular. Those, again, they took away all of the identity of this park as this great film celebration, and I want to bring all that back, because you showed how they did the costumes, you showed how they did the stunts with Lights Motor Action and with the Indiana Jones stunt show, and they did away with all of it to this day, and I don't know why. So we're gonna bring all that back and restore the Lucasfilm name to something of greatness, because Lord knows Kathleen Kennedy has done so much to bring that property down. Next, kind of a big one, we're going to have the Marvel Studios backlot. Currently, what is Animation Courtyard, just expanded out a little bit. I know there's some land there that we could expand it out to. I want this hub of this land to be a helicarrier. People would walk in to this land, the quote-unquote gates of this land would be a helicarrier that you walked into, and it houses the attractions of the land, one of which is Cosmic Rewind, which is currently at Epcot, which I mentioned in my Epcot video I would bring here. I think that is a phenomenal ride, but I want to have a ride that is worthy of the name Avengers, with Avengers Battle for Earth. This is on the scale of Rise of the Resistance, but with less walking, because that is the part of Rise of the Resistance that irks me to this day. And have guests become recruit level agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., called to assist the Avengers in a citywide battle against the villainous Doctor Doom and his Doombots. The ride combines trackless dark ride tech, motion simulation, and practical effects to deliver a truly cinematic experience. And also in this land, I would have Spider-Man Raft Breakout. We're going to bring in the raft from the MCU and have a ride where guests would sling webs, kind of again like Midway Mania, where they would actually help to trap prisoners from the raft. I don't know what Web Warriors was thinking in Hollywood, but I feel like that ride is close to greatness. But the fact that they have all these little tiny robots makes no sense when Spider-Man has such a great list of villains that you could draw from to make this a truly epic ride deserving of the name Spider-Man. Last, but certainly not least, the Pixar backlot, which again is currently existing in some way, shape, or form as Toy Story Land, but we're going to expand that to make it a truly Pixar backlot. Include Toy Story Land. I love Toy Story Land. I think it's very cute. I love Slinky Dog and everything that's there, but we're going to add a couple things. Of course, we know that Monsters Inc. is looking to make its debut in this park, so we're going to go along with that. We're actually going to move the laugh floor from Magic Kingdom over to here. I feel like here is where it fits, and we are going to add some goodies because Pixar was such a chef's kiss that there's a lot of things that we can draw from. Number one, the Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor launch, a roller coaster based on Monsters Inc. in Hollywood Studios, based on the doors and that great scene that honestly, ever since I watched it, was begging to be a roller coaster. I think that it needs to happen, and I am excited for it. So let's bring it, of course. But I would also add 2 rides to this part of the park, and that is The Incredibles Metroville Mayhem. This is a high-speed, family-accessible launch coaster / dark ride hybrid, where guests join the Parr family in a race to stop a new villain before they escape Metroville. I figured this would be a great way for Disney to make a brand new character that actually would be nice. And hey, you can sell some merch. And you see how I'm helping you, Disney? You see how I'm helping you here? But they would have multiple indoor show scenes with animatronics and projection mapping, followed by an outdoor speed section reminiscent of Dash's water run and jungle chase from the first film. Lastly, to cap off the Pixar backlot, is Up, a floating adventure. Guests would join Carl, Russell, and Doug, and Kevin on a slow-moving balloon lift journey from Carl's neighborhood to Paradise Falls. I know that they're making an Up ride in Disneyland Paris, and it's just a flying chair ride that you see at every carnival. Up definitely deserves better, so we're going to give it better. The ride is colorful, slow-paced, and full of charming animatronics. Think of a suspended Omnimover ride, kind of like Peter Pan's Flight, but with each ride vehicle shaped like a small basket held by Carl's colorful balloons overhead. And you're going to go through all these different scenes, and again, it's a very nice family-oriented ride because you have 2 roller coasters with The Incredibles and Monsters Inc. laugh floor that already are in this land. So this is going to be a really epic land to visit, and that actually caps off all of Hollywood Studios. Again, I like this idea of having Hollywood backlots. I think that was a missed opportunity for Hollywood Studios as a whole, and because of all of the properties that Disney now has with Lucasfilm, with Marvel, not having lands centered on these phenomenal properties is a huge misfire, and not giving love to a lot of the Pixar films, again, misfire. So we're going to correct that with my layout of the park, which again, I would love to hear what you guys have to say about my layouts of the park, but that's how I would do it if I were remaking Hollywood Studios. Alright, so that was Hollywood Studios, and again, this is a video for all of us. I would love to hear what you thought down in the comments down below. Again, this is the park that I felt needed the most changing, just because it's such a hodgepodge of a park, and really it has so much potential, especially given the concept of the park itself, that I couldn't help myself. Let me know what you thought about this whole basically remodel down in the comments down below. As well, please drop a like down below, and if you would, please subscribe. Again, I know a ton of y'all watch my videos and don't subscribe. Come on, join the channel, and it would help continue to give me the ability to make more videos, better videos for y'all down the road. Thank you again so much for watching this review, travelers, and as always, go with grace.